Victor needs to be careful what he picks up. He doesn't have much more room. Is that locked? It is. Maybe I can cast a spell on it. How about, oh. Well then. You really are quite rude, aren't you? It hit the wolf, who has an 8 reflex. That's Victor's luck. Cursing said luck, he would quickly move on to dealing with things as best he could. The ghost breathes ectoplasm on him. Oof. It will definitely be worth rememorizing a few more elemental resistance spells, because I really like picking on poor little Victor. Oh boy. I may start cutting these long battles out, since nothing really can be narrated on them. And it's just tedious dice rolling over and over. For now, we'll leave it in, but if they keep getting this tedious, I may start cutting them out. Come here, wolf. Let me mend you. I certainly can't afford to lose you at this point. Oh, and I was going to try to open that damn door. Let's see here. Shifting through his substantial arsenal. Did that not work? Was he not close enough? This is wasting charges. It is, it's wasting charges. It can't deal with that lock, apparently. How annoying. That means it's incredibly high tier. Makes him curious what exactly could be behind that door. Oh good, more of them. Victor is most certainly going to be memorizing some spells that allows him to actually deal with these damn things. Oh boy.
That's it for you! Take that!
Well, perhaps engaging in melee wasn't the best choice. He injured several of them, the magic missiles. Ugh, and then they go invisible. Incredibly tedious. At least they don't regenerate. Their anatomy does not allow that. Well, at least no faster than any other being. No, 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 no. Oh. Nice shot, Victor. 2 nice shots. That's an incredibly rare thing to happen for him. Once more, dealing with the wolf's wounds. Because he would quite literally be dead without it. Or still at the first battle, slowly shooting bolts at it till he runs out of them, perhaps. Neither is entirely possible. Yeah, a totem pole of some sort with giant skulls. run through it. He's not quite sure why the Medusa or the Netherian mages would have put this here. It didn't appear to serve any arcane purpose. Perhaps they just had an odd sense of style? Well, either way, he supposed he should move on. It's incredibly odd, though. Another skeletal devourer. It seems that he was right. She was most certainly targeting only the things that he was weak against. How enjoyable. Nope. Okay, then 2 flame arrows. Always lead with acidic arrow. There we are. Let's put on death armor and engage in melee. Although melee would be a much better option once he has time to memorize spells to enhance his elemental resistance, as that appears to be all that the Wisps inflict, which is odd, because in his studies he recalls that they caused minor elemental damage of all 3 sorts. However, he also remembered studying that usually their primary damage output was magical in origin. A bit odd. Drink the potion, Wolfie. He needs to see if he can get them to attack him instead of the wolf. They seem to like doing that before, that's why he cast the death armor spell. They don't seem to agree anymore. There we are. If he can get 2 of their attention, that'll be enough for him. I was curious that she had chosen Will-O-Wisps. Perhaps she had run out of time. After all, golems were generally the guardians of choice. Golems also, however, took much more energy to create, and you couldn't simply summon them the way she was doing with these. If he had to guess, he would say that she was using specific target zones that she had previously placed using her magic, so that whenever they were triggered, it would pull on her, and using her own energy would then pull out the Will-O-Wisps. Still, the amount that she was able to summon was relatively ridiculous, even if she was in a constant state of resting to regather her energy each time. He could only assume that this was part of the mythology. Ironhorn, another shank of meat. And that's almost certainly what those are for, but Victor just can't carry those. Oh. He also probably should have paid attention first. Let's see here. So there's definitely more going that way. Very well. Let's just go around then. I'm sure the wolf won't complain, and Victor is most certainly not in the mood to step on more traps. Regeneration or not, it's not exactly pleasant. Ah. And here we come to the issue once more. Right. Well, it seems it's time to replace a few of his spells. Ah, those are his. Is there a higher end one he could possibly use? Oh, well, Firebrand isn't something he's using anymore, really. You could replace that with Energy Buffer. That seems like a decent idea. Alright, we'll take out 2 of those and replace them with 2 energy buffers. You can hear the creature in the distance. I didn't notice that. Victor's going to take a moment once more to study his spells and rememorize them. He's going to need these in his arsenal if he's going to actually manage to survive anything. I believe that is far superior to, I was going by memory, I probably should have checked specifically. Yeah, it's literally just an increased variant on it, so. For now, he will use his staff, but this way he will also be able to maintain. He's a little bit nervous. He's hoping that he doesn't have to try and kill that thing after this, and perhaps after he gets past it, it'll be stuck on this level. Taking a very slow breath, he'd activate his staff once more. He came from that direction, so he's going left, and he's going to run as quickly as he can. Ugh. And of course, more wisps. Right out the gate. Still, that should be fine. Right then. Let's kill this one since it seems content to fight us. He's not entirely sure why she keeps sending the... Would you attack? He's not quite sure why she keeps sending the vengeful spirits as well. And it's clear they're not doing anything. Perhaps instead of it being something that she is actively controlling, it's instead a preset enchantment. So she has no power over what exactly she's using. Or perhaps they're not her enchantments at all. It's certainly possible that the enchantments are from the Netherians. And she's simply fueling it with mana. Using her energy to reactivate it, or simply channeling the power of the Mythallar through herself into them. It's a hard call. Oh, well done. Now let's see here. It definitely seems like others were here. He has to wonder exactly who was here, though. Were people on this level when the Mythallar was removed? It certainly couldn't be adventurers. Oh, this screams traps lined along the ground. Ow. The one time that Victor takes a moment to do something that isn't blasted away. It doesn't look like he triggered any, actually, which is a surprising relief that he wasn't really expecting. Perhaps they're just assuming people will fall over the edge, which he suppose while in mid-combat is entirely likely. Not that he has any intention of proving them right by any means. And like a fool, he recalled something, and would slap his own forehead if he had the moment. He's been fighting creatures that constantly shift in and out of invisibility. He had a gemstone that allowed one to see through anything. On top of that, he had one that released incredibly powerful holy light, which is something that he believed the Wisps were not immune to. He could hit himself right now. And like clockwork. Certainly, he'd only had one charge left, but that was much better than just throwing his spells at it repeatedly and doing practically nothing to them. At times like this, he could still hear Dorna laughing at him. He wasn't sure if that was him getting over his guilt or just missing her. I suppose either was possible. Now are you stuck? No? Okay, there you go. It's hard to say sometimes with the summons and henchmen. Beamdog's done some awesome stuff with this, but there's still definitely some things that just make you go, what? Because they just stand there and they don't do anything, or any other alteration or issue like we saw with Dorna earlier. Now, his item didn't pick up any traps, but he's still wary of them. Oh look, the Skeletal Devourer. At least this one appeared to be a quicker issue. Am I blocking you? Is that what's... Okay. No, not that. We desperately need those. Ouch. There we go. Now to heal the wolf. Heal the wolf. Sometimes this game. And drink a weaker potion ourselves. The regeneration should help cover the rest. Alright, slight cut there because that fight was taking a bit too long for my personal tastes. That was one more section done, hopefully. It didn't appear that it was finished just yet. Another one of these intersections. He was beginning to wonder if perhaps these totems actually had a purpose. It's hard to say. Magic arrows that he can't use. Harp of Charming that he can't use, but will be worth selling if he ever gets out of here alive, he supposes. Another one? Or... oh, good. There were 2 Skeletal Devourers on this one. Well, that's fine, he supposes. Just means he'll have to kill it that much faster. The quicker it dies, the better off they'll be. Still not dead. There we are. And we're having some deja vu once more. Attract all the wisps to him. Let them attack him as much as they wish. There. We'll do another cut here. This is getting tedious. Hello everyone, and thank you for watching. If you enjoy my videos and don't want to miss out on future content, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification button. If you'd like to support me on a more personal level, offer recommendations, chat with me, or vote on future series, then consider becoming one of my patrons on Patreon. Thank you once again for all your support, and I can't wait to see you in the next chapter of our story.